Takis are cowards. Frito-Lay's blessed us with all kinds of recipes, from handy-dandy snacks to mediocre mixed drinks. But what does Barcel give us? Nothing. Nada. So I've braved the wild, wild web to find 3 recipes that use my favorite kind of chip, Takis Fuego, and we're going to be trying them out today. I'll be letting you know how I like them. If Bimbo ever releases official Takis branded recipes in the future, I am more than happy to try them out. I love Takis. I love cooking. Kind of a match made in heaven. Anyways, without further ado, here are the recipes. First up, we have air fryer mozzarella sticks. Thank you to Daily Yums Irina. This recipe requires 1 cup of Takis Fuego, 1 large egg, beaten, 3 tablespoons of all-purpose flour, and 8 sticks of mozzarella string cheese. You can also take just like a 1-pound block of mozzarella and cut it up into whatever size you want. That always works. Still delicious, still cheese. Cheese tastes good. So for this, you're going to want to preheat your air fryer to 375 degrees Fahrenheit. Put your Takis in a food processor and process it into a crumb. Usually I just pulse it like 5 or 6 times for 5 to 10 seconds each time, but whatever works for you. Then lay out bowls. From left to right, you want to do flour, then the egg, then your Takis crumb. Make sure these bowls are big enough to put your cheese chunks or your cheese sticks, whatever you're dipping. I may have used slightly too small bowls originally. It's fine. Just move them into a bigger bowl if that happens. Then you want to coat your cheese in the flour, then eggs, then Takis. And this is why I chose this recipe. If you watched the last video, you might remember I made a comment about a mistake. I said, oh, if you ever do mozzarella sticks, be sure that you go back and you double dip them. You dip it again in the egg and then again in the crumb. I didn't do it for that recipe, and I did do it whenever I created it again, and it was better. For this recipe, I did. It says in the recipe explicitly right here. It says coat it again in eggs, then again in the Taki crumb. This is what the Cheetos recipe was missing. Always do that, for real. Always do this whenever you make mozzarella sticks. It's the way. Then just grease a tray that'll fit in your convection oven or air fryer. Put your mozzarella sticks in there. Stick it in. You'll want to cook for 5 minutes or until crispy. Go ahead and flip that 2 or 3 minutes in, just to make sure both sides get browned evenly. And then you're good to enjoy. I love these little guys. Very basic, very tasty. They're nothing fantastic, and honestly, I definitely preferred the Cheetos ones after I got the double layer thing in. Takis Fuego, I don't think that the chili lime flavor contributes a lot to the cheese stick experience, but it's worth trying once. I'd give this one a tentative thumbs up. So, we're off to a good start with the Takis recipes. Let's go ahead and move on to our next one. Next up, we have Takis Fuegos. That is thanks to Tinkering Productions on Instructables. Thanks a lot. Now, this pun sucks to say out loud, so I'd just say something like Takis Huevos or just Takis deviled eggs. No need to get fancy. This recipe is really simple. You know what you need? 6 eggs, a couple tablespoons of mayonnaise, and a cup of Takis. That's it. Blitz those Takis the exact same as for the last recipe. Hard boil the eggs. Go ahead and mix in the mayonnaise and the Taki crumb into the separated yolks, and then sprinkle some more Takis crumbs on top. And that's it. You've got Takis Huevos. Now, these are fun. I enjoyed them a bit less than I enjoy normal deviled eggs. I think, again, it's something that's worth trying just in case you like it. I do think that the Takis flavor actually contributes. It adds a nice tang, kind of the same tang you'd expect from mustard, and it does make it enjoyable. Plus, you get a bit of the crunch from the Takis, the larger crumbs, which fills a lot of the same role as pickles. That being said, this is not a low-carb option like normal deviled eggs, and it just doesn't taste or feel as good as a regular deviled egg. If I'm making deviled eggs, I probably just want to omit the Takis entirely, stick to the usual, which is, for me, mayonnaise and mustard, sometimes pickles. That being said, it's still okay. It gets a thumb to the side. Last but not least, we have Takis Fuegos Jalapeno Poppers. Well, I'm saving the best for last. I was the most excited about these because jalapeno poppers sounds like they work fantastic with Takis. I love Takis Fuegos, I love peppers, I love cream cheese. This is all 3 of those, and they all should work great together. This recipe comes to us thanks to Tony Racon's blog, Average Guy Gourmet. Thank you, Tony Racon. For this recipe, you will need 10 jalapeno halves with the seeds removed, 8 ounces of softened cream cheese, 8 ounces of shredded cheddar cheese, a cup and a half of buttermilk, a cup of flour, a 15-ounce bag of Takis Fuego, some garlic salt, and some paprika. So, this is another easy one. Go ahead and halve those jalapenos. If you've already got 5, just cut those in half to get 10 and scoop them out. If you've already got them halved and seeded, you're good to go. You're well on your way. Once you've got that ready, in a bowl, combine the cheddar cheese and the cream cheese, and then go ahead and spoon that out evenly between all of your peppers. For this step, you'll want to pour buttermilk into one bowl, and then your flour, garlic salt, and paprika into another bowl. Go ahead and whisk those dry ingredients together just to get them mixed throughout. Then you'll want to take each of your jalapeno halves and dip in the buttermilk, making sure to get both sides, and then roll them in your flour. Set them aside on a baking pan or on a cooling rack just to let them rest for a minute. While they're resting, preheat either oil or your air fryer to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Then, you know the drill, go ahead and process your Takis in a food processor until they're a light crumb. Now that your jalapenos have rested, go ahead and dip them in the buttermilk again, and then roll them in the Takis crumb. In my case, this actually worked perfectly fine with one coating. They were thick, they were good, I didn't need to put them through a second time. But if you do get a light coating, you can feel free to go ahead and dip them in the buttermilk again and roll them through. Just know that since you're not using egg, you're using buttermilk, it may soften the Takis a bit. Once you've got that done, go ahead and put the Takis in the heated oil for about 2 minutes. It should lightly brown, or you can put them in the air fryer for about 5 minutes. You may have to adjust these times slightly depending on the size of your peppers, but 5 minutes in the air fryer worked for me. And I was not disappointed in this. This was my favorite of the recipes by far, and probably the best recipe between either of these videos so far. The filling was tasty but simple, and the Takis crust actually contributed a lot to the flavor and wasn't just kind of sitting on the side like in the other 2 recipes. I'm already a fan of jalapeno poppers, and this is actually better than regular jalapeno poppers. You can make this in only a few minutes with just a few ingredients. It's super simple. You don't even need the buttermilk. I know that not a lot of people have the buttermilk in their kitchen. You can use eggs, or you can use like sour cream and milk mixed together if you want. Really, anything goes. And this is something that you probably can make like in time, like just half an hour before a party. Easy stuff, delicious recipe, would recommend. This gets an enthusiastic thumbs up from me. So, I was at the store, forgive the crinkling, I was at the store getting the ingredients for this recipe, and I found these Dragon Sweet Chili Takis. I've never had these before, so I wanted to give them a test in this video, because, I mean, what's the point of a video without testing out a product or two, you know? Listen, I love products, I love consuming products, and if you don't, I mean, that's your problem. So I'm gonna set the mic down, I'm gonna taste this real quick, and I'll get right back to you. They smell really mild. They smell like kind of like a sweet chili sauce that you get at like Panda Express or something. Like the really sweet, really mild like Thai chili sauce or like sweet chili sauce kind of thing. Okay, yeah, no, those are pretty good. It does kind of have like a sweet chili flavor. It's not particularly sweet, but like it does roll in with the kind of like a peppery hotness. It doesn't taste like very savory or limey like most Takis do. Still kind of salty, but that's just because it's a chip. I don't think it's my favorite Taki by far. I think the blue heat ones are still my favorite, but this is definitely not a bad Taki. So in conclusion, if we're just looking at the mozzarella sticks and the deviled eggs, I might be able to understand why Barcel didn't immortalize any of these recipes. They're kind of plain, they're really basic. It's worth existing, but maybe not worth making every day. You add the poppers into the equation though, it's clear we've been robbed. How many people have never experienced Takis Fuego jalapeno poppers that would have if there had been an official push to get these on people's plates? If there were recipes on the back of the box, on the back of the bag, that said, hey, here's a cool jalapeno popper you can make. If there was even on their website, if they were like, here's how you can make jalapeno poppers with Takis, maybe a dozen other people would have tried this, and that's enough for me. They should be putting this on billboards. They should be shouting this from the rooftops. They should be giving YouTubers money to promote this recipe. Because frankly, Everybody deserves to taste these at some point in their life, but that's all I have for you today. If you like this video, can you hit the like button somewhere? Comment down below if there are other recipes you want to see. There should be another video suggestion somewhere around here. I've got plenty of other videos. There's a Cheetos Kitchen. If you haven't watched that, you can watch Cheetos Kitchen. No, don't fade away, don't fade away, don't fade away. No, please, 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 please. I still have to promote other stuff.